Hey, what's up? It is DJ. Here are your new and updated mods for August the 6th. We got 35 mods today. It's a big mod day. All platforms got 20 new and 10 updates, and PC and Mac players got 2 new and 3 updates. We got a new map as well today, so we're going to check everything out. Check out those timestamps to see what you want to see first. Let's jump right in. All right, let's start them off with some new ones for all platforms. We have the map StarValley from Truck69. They made a couple maps in Farm Sim 22, but I haven't seen anything in 25 from them yet, and this is their first map here. Now, if some of this kind of looks familiar to you, well, it is because the base of it is Riverbend Springs. So the waterway is exactly the way that it is in Riverbend Springs. However, everything else has been changed. So yeah, you may like this area, for example. This is the town. As a matter of fact, the store's looking like it's in the same place. Otherwise, everything else is completely different. So if you're wanting a modified version of Riverbend Springs, this may be a good place to go for it. You do have this town-ish area here, the industrial area. You can come in here and you can place down your own buildings and build up your own kind of setup, which is kind of nice. 3 packs plus expansion. Hey, we know what's in that now, don't we? Yes, we do. Take a look at the PDA itself. Here you go. There is an interesting kind of line going on. I'm not quite sure exactly what's up, but it does look like there's a line down here about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way down. Looks like somebody just drew a straight line across and then overlapped 2 different PDAs. 2 looking PDAs anyway. Nonetheless, we do have the 6-9 up here at the top left-hand corner. That is what they do. A couple of the fields that they put in or decorations from above. We'll say 6-9. I mean, it's Truck 6-9. It's funny, so let it be. As far as everything else goes, here is your main farm area right smack dab in the middle, and we get some extra fields and stuff like that around towards the very bottom. No custom crops, so be aware of that. Here is your crop calendar. Should look pretty similar to you. We do have a cow barn with feeding robot, a shed with the open chicken pasture, and a horse pasture as well, owned by default. If we jump down to productions, nothing that we have owned, but we do have available the canning, cement, grape, oil, playground maker, sawmill, spinnery, and wagon builder. And taking a look at what we get in new farmer mode, as you can see, we've got some vineyard stuff in there, as well as a few tractors and some just kind of different equipment. Very, very different from what we normally get in new farmer, and I dig it. Speaking of new farmer, here is your main farm. We actually start right here at the house at the very base of the stairs. We've got a place to work on vehicles there. You got your silo system over here, animals and such. We do have a nice place here to back up your semi-truck. I think that's kind of cool, right? Look at that. You've got some products in there ready to go. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And in this building right here, we've got your equipment. So a lot of the stuff, if you're looking for it, you will find it in here. But again, I don't think you're going to have any problems with that. Let's be honest. But yeah, hey, if you wanted a modified version of Riverbend Springs, check it out. As always, we do have some required mods. I think a silo and a charging station we probably could have gotten away with not being required mods. Everybody could download those and put them wherever they want, but they're there nonetheless. Just because I thought it was interesting, here is what the main farm area looks like, except on Riverbend Springs. This is around near where the horse farm is. And then here's what that quote-unquote industrial area looks like. Kind of neat. Definitely big changes. Now let's talk about vehicles. We have the Piaggio Ape Plus, or the APE. So this bad boy has got some differences from the base game version. In the base game version, we really don't have much at all. Here, we've got an extension, so this is the way it looks in base game, but you can throw on a tipper in the background. Check that out. Oh yeah. 1,600 liters, which is pretty good. However, that may be a little bit much for this as far as weight goes. And you've even got a flatbed, and you can throw on a trailer hitch. Very cool. You've also got the main color of it and the intercooler cover. I'm interested with this because, I'll be honest, oh, is that interior? Oh, not intercooler. Oof. My brain hurts today. It's been a bad day. If you want to make any comparisons with the base game version, all of the engine specs and everything's the same. However, this only has a main color option on the outside, and there's nothing else. So here we go. Here's how it looks with nothing in it whatsoever. And here it is loaded down with 1,600 liters of wheat. Yeah! Let's see how we do here. I tried to load in stones or crops. The stones are definitely a lot heavier, but this one's not too shabby, and I don't know what they've done, but it is not tipping over. Nothing. Anything on it? Nope. Nothing around it. Man, I couldn't tell you what's going on. All I do know is it ain't falling and tipping. One other neat thing is there's several animations on here. We've got door opening animations. So there you got one over there. You got this one here. You can control them however you like. So there's that. We've also got the windows, which have like an animation when rolling in and out, which I find super, super neat. That's cool. Then we've also got mirrors. So you can bring the mirrors in however you like. And there's even the sun visor. Very cool. Lots of changes on here, man. Next from HR Force, we have the Rottne Forwarder Pack. So we've got one version with a clam bunk on the back of it. Then we've got the standard forwarder that you would expect to see. Of course, we have the crane on there as well. Helps with loading. A couple of things are going to be exactly the same from these. But of course, we get those visual differences in the back and how it all works. So be aware of that and be ready for it. We've also got the attachment on the very back. Yes, you can either throw a traction winch in there, which is very cool, or you can have a normal hitch attachment, which I'm digging. Engines all the way up to 365 horsepower. Nice. All the wheel brands you would expect to see. So you got your BKT, your Trelleborg, your Michelin, your First, and of course, those Nokians on there. Gotta go with the Forester Kings, baby. Chainsaw on the grapple. Yep, you could do that as well. That way you can actually use this as a harvester if you wanted to. Color design, you've got the new and old design. I like that old design, man. That looks good. Tinted windows, you've got outside mirrors, exhaust guard, hood protection, a log level in the back, or in the front, even in the back, goodness gracious. And we have bright green. JK, where's my toothpaste tractor at? It's right beside it. Green too. Toothpaste tractor. These work exactly the way you would expect as the ones in the base game do. It's a cool one, the Lizard Gooseneck Haymaster. Dude, check this out. So this will load up between 125 and 150 centimeter round bales. It'll actually do 20 of each regardless of the size that you choose. So that is nice. Or you could choose to load it manually if you prefer. You've got the chassis color, which is nice to see, and we've got a rim color on here as well, so you can choose exactly what you want. So here's how it's looking with the Super Duty. I figured this would be a nice truck to use with it. And I've got, I think, 20 round 150 centimeter straw bales over here. And we will set it. So unloading assistant, we definitely want that to be turned on. And we need to make sure we turn this thing on all the way. Now that we got that, load them up. And it looks like it's going to be loading from the back first, not the front. But it does have a wide pickup, and it is quick, baby. So there you go. You've got that, and you can move these anywhere you want to unload. What happens if we just drop it back on? Drop it back on and I'll load it again. I'm clever. Nah, for real though, this almost seems like a match made in heaven. That looks so good. The next one's not something that I thought I wanted, but I definitely wanted this. The dual wield washer. This is another Manchurd mod. We've got a couple different things on here. So we actually have some lighting, which you can add around. That's nice. Let's see, let's spin it around. We get any more lights? Looks like that's it for then. We get a working light though, so we get a nice little work light there. 3-point, yes. So this makes it nice where you could transport this, and you can actually utilize it wherever you want. That's really nice. We also have beacons. Yes, you can put a beacon on here. And yes, I'm going to put one on here. Where's the clear one? There it is. We actually have multiple designs, way more than I'm used to seeing. Oh my goodness. Let's use that one. That one looks pretty interesting. That's the one on the John Deere, right? I think so. Then we've got some color options through here, which are wild. I think yellow's good, looking good there. Let's go with like a peach there. Oof. Not the prettiest thing on earth, but you know what? It is what it is. Now, can we tab to it? No. So here it is, a wild and wacky piece. And we've got dual wielding. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. And we can also push it. We've got the lights. Everything works exactly the way that it would. You know what? Not too shabby, right? So over here, we've got a poor New Holland that just needs a spray down bad. And dual wield washing, I mean, that was it. Dirt on this thing was set at 100%, and it was just done. So very fast wash, and I decided to use this New Holland because it is small, and I figured it would give us a good representation of the weight of the washer, but doesn't seem like there is much weight to the washer. So there is that. Does look like whenever we turn on lights, all the lights do come on, and whenever we cut on a beacon with the tractor, the beacon comes on too. This is a neat piece of kit, man. This is also pretty cool. This is the Lizard structure from HT Modding. Now, this will hold between 25,000 and 100,000 liters, which is awesome. We can change up our colors and everything like that, even the tank. But you're probably curious, well, how in the world do you run this? Like, what does it hook up to? Well, good news, it actually hooks up to this guy, which is in the base game. We really didn't have a whole lot for the changing system stuff. Be honest, I didn't know kind of where this was going, but we've now got a decent chunk of things in the changing station setups, and we have more IT runner stuff coming soon. Very, very cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just, you know, a different way to have a milk tank, but it holds a lot more than you would expect. 2 thumbs up. Next, we've got a pack from Hispano Modding, conversion for Farm Sim 22, the Schouten VT130, as well as the SP6834 right there, the injector. So these are going to hold slurry and digest 13,000 liters of it. You can run 200,000 liters, as he's added an option for that on all of his mods, and I greatly appreciate that. We do have multiple different color options too, so you've got your main, so design, we'll change that to be a pink, so it's all the little bits and bobs. Of course, rims are rims at the end of the day. And then you will need something on the back of it, and that's where this comes in. This is the Spider SP. It's the distributor. Hooks up via 3-point, just like everything else. You don't need to use this, but you can. 40 horsepower required, 6.8 meter working with at 11 miles per hour. That'll inject your slurry. Next up, if you were looking for a small cultivator pack, well, here you go. We've got it. 5 cultivators ranging from 2.2 all the way up to 3.5 meters, because this is what we needed right here. We do have row configurations of 2 or 3. We can change up the color of the plowshares, although there's not a lot of colors that are going to match up well, and you can't change the main color for whatever reason. 2.2, 2.5, 2.7, 3, and 3.5 meters. How many of these cultivators do we have now? You also got the Lizard back bale fork. This hooks up via 3-point and is a bale fork. However, we also have a trailer hitch for it too if you would like, but you don't have to use this on the back. You could put this on the front of a 3-point, or the side of a 3-point if you've got a quad, I guess, as well. We do have main color, which you can change up to anything you would like, making it nice and versatile. Now, I am a big fan of bits and bobs like this, and I think we had something very similar in Farm Sim 22 as well. This is the Fliegl DKS22. You can use it as either a platform, and you've also got a tipper version as well, 2,200 liter capacity there, and 3,100 liter capacity there. There's also a tank version here, 2,000 liters, which is fantastic, and even a forestry version for having logs. Plenty to go on there. How cool is that? And you can see everything down here, all of the regular bulk crops that it will hold, and all of the liquids as well coming up. There they are right at the end. All of the above, including goat milk, which is sometimes missed, which is unfortunate, but is what it is, and even bales. Now, I don't believe that this has got auto-loading, but we do have, well, the setup right here, which is awesome. Oh yeah, talk so much about it, I forgot to mention, it hooks up via 3-point or front loader. Yay! One of the nice things about this is it is quite versatile, and you can load it up with a couple different bits and bobs, pieces of machinery, so that is very, very cool. Lastly, we have the new Holland Weight. This will have weights of 430, 790, and 1,150 kgs. It is set up in a fan pattern, and there are no colors. Now we get into our productions. Now we've got the Pickle Production. This is fairly simple. Chili peppers, lettuce, olives, and tomatoes in, and then you get the pickled versions out. So it's kind of doing all the hard work for you. If we take a look, it is a 1-to-1, which is nice. We've got 7,200 cycles per month and $120 per month. 100,000 liters of stuff in, 50,000 liters of stuff out. So there is that. There is a bit of an irritation with this though, and I'll tell you what I mean. You see this right here? That patch of grass got deleted. And you want to know why? Because for some reason, this building's square. You can go through it, there's no collision. This is where you drop off stuff, this is where you pick up stuff, but for some reason, there is a setup that is squared off with this. The building's not square, but this is. For some odd reason. You don't see that very often, so I think that probably needs to be fixed. Now I gotta put the grass back. This is pretty cool, the Woodchips Processing Factory. So this is actually created from FFMT Storm NL, and what they say is they thought that they would give wood chips some more functionality in the game. Mainly, they didn't really have a plan for what leftovers from the sawmills, and so they made this. And we've got actually some great stuff that we can do with this. So let's swing around here. Let me out. And we'll take a look at the production itself. So 900,000 liters of wood chips in, and you get boards, carton roll, paper roll, planks, and wood beams. Oh yeah, love that. You've also got your different productions down here. Some of them are pretty similar. So basically everything, with the exception of paper roll, is going to be about like 416, 416 there, 416 there, 420 there. Outputs are a little bit different, but you know, that is what it is at the end of the day. Carton rolls, 51,000, 55,000 for the paper roll, 100,000 for the plank, 70,000 for the plank song, and 450,000 for the wooden beams. Because you make a lot of those. It's pretty cool production overall. Over here, it looks like is where you're going to be dumping this stuff, and there's a dumpy spot too. So both? Because you get all your stuff out over here. Oof, my head hurts. The next one is not only what we get here, but also both of those humongo buildings in the background as well. It is the British and Canadian potato / corn chip processing plant. And they've gone all the way down even to the pallets. So the Canadian one says the potato chips. And if we swing around here and go over to the British one, the pallets for that one says crisps. Very cool. I like that they've done that. But basically, here you go. We can see the two Canadian ones. You've got the exact same recipes, except one is way, way higher than the other one, basically 10 times. Then we get down to the British ones as well, and these are all salted, or crisps rather. So they're all going to be the same here. We've got very similar inputs, but not exactly the same. Actually, it looks like the same, yeah. So sizing's different, visibly the different. If you want to make some new productions, and you want to make some chips, well, here you go. Last one we're going to be showing in the game is the hay dryer. This building right here is actually used for the next 3 mods. We'll talk about that. This hay dryer will take grass and turn it into hay. It is interactable, so you are able to walk, check out the grass and the hay inputs, and then when you're ready, just back up and get them out. This is going to be your input right here. We can come right, y'all, and take a look. What do we got? 250,000 liters for grass in and 250,000 liters for grass out, or hay out, rather. You've got 1,000 grass turns into 900,000 hay. You got 120 cycles per month. So just be ready for that. Other buildings that should be packaged really together with that, we've got the bulk vegetable storage. This has got capacity for 450,000 liters for each crop, and the wooden shed, which is basically just the open version of those. We've also got the modern shed. This actually has a bale capacity for 200 bales, choice colors, different facades, and solar panels. Metal shed, which is, well, literally just that. And the old church, which is just a placeable decoration item. Checking out our updates for all platforms, we have New Hope version 2.1. New forest trees added to the map. Lime now shows on the map, and fixed fertilizer texture. They do say a new save game is not necessarily required. However, a new save is required to use all the new features, and there's really not a lot there, so you probably want to start a new save. It's really difficult needing a new save game, especially on a map that you basically create everything yourself. Kind of tough with this one. Next, we have the Actisol Actimix version 1.1. Fixed configuration. Romaco Vibrostar U445 1001. Improved AI behavior. Agromass SN301 pack version 1101. Change the ground reference points to improve sowing on uneven terrain. That's on the SN301. As far as the ANU30, they've increased the maximum working speed. Omatana's Dairy Production 1001. Improve the unloading trigger on the production building and correct recipes for goat yogurt and buffalo yogurt. Country Dairy 1001, new product added, kefir, and minor edits. Pick Farm Building Package 1.1, mod description version adapted, fixed manure production at the pigsty and added second pigsty without slurry tank. Well, I like that word, piggy style. Planet Bunker Silo Pack version number 2. Compaction level was not displayed in the Silo Bunker 6000. This has now been corrected. Wooden Garages and Workshops version 1.1. New buildings been added. They fixed the missing window textures and enlarged triggers for garage lights. And we got Placeable Signs version 1011. Size signs. Now let's take a look at new ones for PC and Mac players. We got 2 of them for you. First is the Legrand Class S pack. This pack includes the 240 and the 320. That's going to be a 2-axle and 3-axle versions. However, everything else is going to be exactly the same. So, of course, configuration. This is going to change up your capacity options. We got capacities 31,000 up to 43. Wheel brands: Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, Nokian, and Trelleborg with some chunky XS's. Always special when you get those wheels. You have a design, you got a double door or single door. Swing around towards the back so you can see that. Nice, love that. Box, yeah, with or without the box in the front. Box doesn't do anything, but it's there nonetheless. You also have reflective stripes of white and red, and then red and orange. The little guys on the back. So I was looking on the sides. This is where we've got them here. Side markers. Oh, there you go. You've got those as well. Those are itty bitty, teeny tiny. And you've even got beacon lights on the back, 1 or 2. Make color options, here you go. And that's it. And your other mod today for PC and Mac players, I wish this would come to all platforms. This is so cool. Rent out your stable. Now, stable doesn't mean horse stable. Stable, technically, I guess here means just rent out your building. So you've got all kinds of bits and bobs here, storage items. You've got this right here, all kinds of stuff. So these are found in generators because what you're technically doing is you're renting out some space, which is very nice. So if you need to, have somebody technically like store their boat or store another boat or put some stuff around, you've got that. And then if you take something like this, for example, I'm not quite sure if I can get this to fit perfectly or not, but maybe like right there-ish. That could, technically be like you've let people use your shed to store their stuff in. Probably need a bigger shed. But you've got all kinds of stuff. Let's go back down to it real quick and just take a look. So, in your total, we've got the car storage space interior rental. So you want to make sure that you put that inside. Then you've also got your interior rental for the Bale storage. You got the big boat. You've got the small boat, gardening and landscaping, and we also have hobby workshop, bring it around, carpentry, warehouse, and then outdoor spaces include my favorite, the large car park, which you'll make $2,160 a month off of. That's pretty sweet. You also have a car park, a smaller one, but it's still a couple spaces. I mean, that's pretty nice. Gardening and landscaping through there. Gardening and landscaping vehicle place. Then you got firewood storage. You've got your small playground, small kiosk. We spin it around. There you go. And you've even got van parking. Oh my goodness. And you make a good amount of money off of this as well. So Farming Simulator is not really farming anymore as much as it is just kind of doing other stuff. Do heads up, though. I don't know if you can see this or not, but some things aren't touching the ground. Those are not touching the ground. Oh, let me buy. What is that? What is in the way here? Oh, I think there's supposed to be a third one, and there's not. Uh-oh. Well, that's fun. Nonetheless, I tried to be a little bit more like cool and less specific about this mod, because it seems like there's a lot of different ways that you could do this. Oh yeah, floating stuff. There's also some chairs here floating as well. Not quite sure what to do with those, but nonetheless, there you go. There's Rent Out Your Stable, one of my favorite mods that came out today. Lastly, today we have a couple updates for PC and Mac players, with Production Info Hud being the first one, version 1.1. They've added translations for FR and PL, display of arrows been corrected, display full and empty improved, filter for removing outputs that are set to distribute, funk production per hour in the display corrected for more than 1 day per month, and update HL display system updated. Secondly, hardcore balance mode version 1006. They've added support for French and Polish languages, all productions have been accelerated by 10 times, except for the wagon builder, the playground maker Hall, Riverbend Springs, and the piano manufacturer on Sri Lanka. We also have some forced game sets right here. So you've got economic difficulty to hard, fuel usage on high, seasonal growth yes, days per month 1, fixed visual month off, snow on, periodic plowing on, fieldstones on, lime, weeds on, and disaster destruction enabled. And lastly, we have the Real GPS mod version 1.1. They've added a display of GPS track inside the vehicle, fixed double binding on the Y key, down supports multiple PDAs. Real GPS can now be used in dashboard compounds. And there you go. Those are your mods today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like if you did. Get subscribed if you're new and join the DjGoHam fam. If you got any questions about them or anything you want to see more of, let me know. Otherwise, have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.